And welcome back, everybody, to the I Don't Mo Show, episode 11. I'm Charlie P.
I'm Nathan J.
And we're back with you here. I'm just going to jump right into it.
Got a little bit of world news.
Got some world
A tiny
news.
amount of world news.
Just one story. There's going to be a mile-wide asteroid with its own moon that's going to pass by Earth on Saturday.
Wow, its own moon.
Yeah, it's got its own moon, so it's got its own gravitational pull.
Is there measurements? Crazy. Is there a size of this thing? Or are we just talking
it's a mile wide.
Just a mile wide?
I mean, yeah, that's about it. But it's going to pass by Saturday, so if you have a telescope, check it out if you can.
Heck yeah.
Hopefully it'll fly over this part of the world.
Right. That's kind of a nice world news thing. I mean, technically it's not, but at the same time, it's kind of cool that you
hopefully it doesn't get knocked off course on the way here.
Right.
That'd be bad.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's the only world news that I got, so we're going to jump straight into video games.
Video games is the start.
Talking about Mortal Kombat 11.
Mortal
Kombat 11 came out, and in April, it was the best-selling game across all platforms. That's PS4, Xbox One, I don't know, did it come out for the Switch? Did it come out on Nintendo? Nintendo, and basically, across all platforms, which hasn't happened since Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock back in October 2007. Wow. So it hasn't happened in over a decade.
That's crazy.
So that's kind of crazy. Just the best-selling game across all platforms.
I mean, that makes sense.
In April. I mean, just for a month. But, I mean, come on. That's
Guitar Hero 3, I mean, that was
really good.
Because everyone had just smashed the crap out of the first two.
Oh, yeah.
And they were just tired. They wanted more. And then, you kind of were able to upgrade, get more songs.
Get more stuff, more songs, all kinds of stuff.
And then, later they let you do it too, which was weird. Which was like, thank you. Now you can't because the servers are down. You can't get new music now. You
can't get any music on those old games.
I mean, Rock Band is pretty much your only way of getting music nowadays, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's pretty good for those guys.
That's good for Mortal Kombat.
They killed it.
It spawned a new reboot movie, which we posted on the page a while back. Which that is kind of part of our movie news, but we don't really have much news on it, so that's really why we're not talking about that. But you're knowing now, if you didn't know before, that because of Mortal Kombat's recent success, there will be a new reboot, which when we say reboot, it is literally, you think of the first movie that ever came out, they're doing that movie just differently. Better. It's going to be the same, but better. Much, much, much better.
They're doing it much better this time around.
And while we're on the subject of Mortal Kombat 11, the game we're talking about here was impressive, to say the least.
We just finished it yesterday, and it was amazing. Yeah, it was really, really good. The story was really rich, and, it wasn't...
It progressed well.
It progressed well, and it wasn't... there were no let's get this over with parts. No. You know what I mean? No. There wasn't any of that. It was like a challenge the whole time. You're like, let's do this.
Even when there was characters, you were like, I'm not very good. I'm
not going to play this guy ever, but he's part of the story. So
and it does give you the option to skip now. So which is weird, and being able to change your characters at all times.
Yeah,
with
it's
pretty
strange.
Much everything.
Yeah,
it's a little different, but it's catering to those people that whine. So the Whinekins got their way, particularly on that, which is fine. It doesn't hurt anybody.
It helped them obviously because they were the best sellers. So
it's a beautiful game. It's gorgeous. Yeah. It's near flawless, especially with the addition to the new version of the Crypt. The Crypt is very impressive. The new version
of the Crypt. Oh man,
it's just it's a different beast in its own, but it's almost another game.
Yeah, I feel like I'm playing like a Mortal Kombat RPG or something like
searching.
that.
It's just searching, and the
just
fact you can buy the stuff, and you're running into relics, and you're actually going to stages that you fight in the game.
And you can craft, you can all that. You can craft, you can find weapons, you can find
customization of all the characters is almost endless.
Oh yeah, and you can unlock different skins, different variants of those skins, and just like
because
hundreds.
Tiny spoiler alert in the game. There's many variations of all the characters for a reason.
For the spoiler alert multiverse that Kronika is queen over.
Right. And I mean, if hopefully you're already playing it if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, and if anything, it's just going to make you want to play it more.
Yeah.
Because they do so many characters justice finally, and they bring back people we've missed.
So
They've
awesome.
Changed the fates and ways of certain people.
I think the ending was perfect.
I thought it was
just spot on. That's what he deserved.
Right.
That's what he got.
Yes.
And that's what he always wanted.
It was perfect. And then it goes in with the towers, which I've always been a fan of like the towers, but at the same time they were always so brutal,
Right.
and there was no point. There was like 0 point to playing towers. Now it kind of gives you a reason to play them. It's a little more interactive. It kind of makes you want to, go for the goal of the towers. But it's just, I gave it what? I mean, I gave it a 9 out of 10, but I'm going to give it, like a 4.5 out of 5 most.
Oh, yeah, I'd give it 4.5 out of 5
all
day.
And really when you...
You know what, I'd take it a step further. I'm giving it 5 out of 5. I think it was great.
You think it was 5 out of 5?
5 out of 5. I'm going 5.
I mean, I'd go with the 4.75 maybe. And like I said, there has to be I can't rate it perfect because there's not enough characters.
Right.
And that's my only complaint.
Yep.
But at the same time, they dominated and wonderfully
but there's
mastered
just like,
the rest of it. So
there's not that many characters, but then again there are, just because of the variants, you know what I mean?
Yes.
There's just that once you put these variations on these characters, they become a whole new character, you know? So it's like Liu Kang with a little twist of something, or Kano with a little twist of somebody else, all that stuff.
Yes.
It's great.
It really is that good. I mean, I enjoyed the last one. XL, especially with all the characters you see there in that game, Predator and Jason and all that kind of, and Hellboy,
Alien, is Hellboy in that?
Yeah,
is he?
Or was he's that's
Injustice.
too.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
I apologize, but it's cool in like that respect with, like you said, all the customizations, but because of what they do with the story in this game. It's not really a spoiler. I'm not even going to say spoiler alert, but it's one of those things like be ready to see more in the next game.
Oh yeah,
that's all I got to say. Like because of things that happen.
Yeah, I'm
in
trying
this
to
game,
be vague, not to ruin it.
Yeah,
for people,
try not to ruin it because it is that good. Usually
awesome.
we're just like we don't care when
it's
it comes
a great
to
setup for the rest of the universe.
Yeah, the future of Mortal Kombat is extremely bright because of this game. And like the complaints I've read was like it was too easy and the fatalities and stuff were too much, and it's like.
The fatalities were too much. That's what Mortal Kombat
that's what it is. And it spices it up in such a way like you're at the beginning your fatality is obviously repetitive. You're using the same one.
Yeah.
But you can unlock more.
Yeah, you unlock more and different. That's what the whole crypt thing is about. You go and you find more and you play the towers to get the money to buy this stuff, and it's just it's a self-feeding beast basically, and you just keep on going.
And you can restore chests and
and you can if you find this
consumables.
If you find the Chronica orb or something like
the
that.
Chronica time.
You can just click that and it'll just reset the entire room and give you a whole new set of different stuff.
And I discovered this morning actually because I was looking over like some reviews. Most places are giving it a 4 out of 5 and 8 out of 10. Game Informer gave it 8 out of 10 for some reason. I'm not really sure. I think it's just people on there like,
well,
this is my favorite. I don't like this. It's just they're gonna have that bias in there with the crypt and the consumables. It like you were saying, it's almost like you're playing another game. It's like you're playing like an RPG of Mortal Kombat or something.
Yeah, you
upgrade
your character.
What I was gonna say, I discovered this morning is when you're in the crypt, there's like coordinates at the bottom. Every motion you move.
Yeah,
apparently,
there's
there's coordinates like if you want to find something specific, like Sub-Zero is my favorite character.
Yeah, I noticed that the other night or last night when we were playing, just running around. I was like, and then we're running backwards, and it's different. It's basically longitude and latitude.
Yes, and basically like if you're a fan of one particular character and you don't give a crap about none of the other ones, and you just want all Sub-Zero stuff,
it's not random. You can literally just go to these certain
which I don't want to know. I like the mystery of it. That's kind of what it is, But and with the gods you can give money to, you can like donate and they'll give you like special stuff and
it's just basically craftable items,
right? And which you said that particular statue you were thinking about for your next tattoo. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's BA, dude.
Oh yeah,
it just looks so cool, and it would be like I'm kind of over this one, and I just want to kind of cover it up. So it'd be an easy cover up. Right. Perfect. Well, that's pretty much it for
that's pretty
video
much it
games.
For games. Yeah, I mean
that's
covered,
all we played. Yeah,
so we've covered of all the stuff we're gonna play. I mean, there's some updates on some stuff. Red Dead 2.
Just
Battlefront. There's
haven't
updates,
really
but we
played
haven't
them. Haven't played them at all. Just kind of lost interest. Pretty much.
It's kind of a weird game year, to be honest. It's just one of those.
It's strange. It's just like you were so excited for these games, then you finally play them, and then you beat it, and then it's kind of like arduous after that, I guess. I mean, there's no replayability almost.
Everything these days is rushed. honestly. It goes into a lot of topics we have.
And then it just goes straight
today.
into the paid DLC and the pre-ordering and blah, 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 and I'm not even going to get into it.
Right. No, I'm not.
So
I would like, actually, my final note on the Mortal Kombat, if you are going to have a DLC, it should just be characters.
Yeah, just
it should
straight
be
characters.
Every character that Mortal Kombat has ever released, if you want to use that character in the game.
And they will, because Shao Kahn is that way right now. You can play, you can grind it out, or you can just buy him.
Right. I mean, I understand like the backgrounds is a lot.
Yeah.
So you can't, you're not going to get every single character because you're going to have to put in a background and a reason that they're there and all this kind of stuff. But because of this game, there are reasons. So I think once everyone's played it, and it's kind of run its course and it kind of to drop, and then like, okay, let's release the DLC.
Right.
Here you go with the characters, because it goes technically within the game.
DLC packs like they've done in the past,
Yes, nothing
DLC
wrong with that.
character packs, that's fine.
I don't have anything wrong with that. I think all games need to adapt that. I think the games need to do so many more things with like backwards compatibility.
Just do what Mortal Kombat did and just release a complete game.
Yes.
It's basically a complete game.
Yes.
There's like a 0.01% that's not unlocked.
Talking to you, Bethesda.
Yeah, talking to you, Valve, Bethesda, all of you guys, if you're listening.
Somebody out there, I guarantee, is listening. It's like, amen.
But anyway, that was a final note on video games. We're moving on to movies now.
A lot of good movie stuff.
Going into movies. My first story is kind of a sad one. Daniel Craig, he's got to have surgery done on his ankle from that injury we mentioned last episode.
In episode 10, yes. And it made me sad then, and it definitely makes me more sad now.
Yeah, because is he going to recover from this and he's going to be able to be Bond again?
I am assuming he will, but I
hope so.
guarantee you that certain things they had planned are out the window.
Out the window, and this movie is just going to be pushed even further now.
I mean, and it kind of goes back to our last subject, like make a complete game.
Yeah.
Start making complete movies. If it's not ready, do it. Don't do it yet. Like
Don't even
with
start
the whole
it.
Sonic thing, they're like, they got the backlash.
Yeah.
They're changing Sonic, and you're going to have to wait. And
Yep.
that's fine, because when it comes down to it, we didn't think Daniel Craig was going to be back ever. We thought he was done.
Yeah, I thought he was done after the last one.
They made the joke, which everyone took way out of context, and it really was a joke when he said he'd rather slit his wrist than play James Bond. And like when he said that, he was not being literal. He was
sarcastic.
just being like, dude, it's so crazy. Like, I'd rather do that than be James Bond again. But he is.
I think he was being sarcastic and just being like, oh yeah, I wouldn't want to play James Bond.
Who wouldn't want to make millions of dollars off of being?
Yeah, I think he was just being sarcastic.
Characters of all time.
But
and I also think that Daniel Craig, the reason he's back is I think some of the people that they're planning on choosing, he just wasn't ready for. He's like, wait a minute, my story of 007 is not over, because we've talked in the past about 007 about it being a code name.
What was it, the last movie or something like that, where they were talking about he was getting too old and all that stuff?
Spectre, right? They were talking about it was too old for his role.
Old for his
which
role,
I don't agree with at all, because
no.
Roger Moore was like 50.
Yeah, he was,
and he was taming 19-year-old Strange. So I mean, it was it's James Bond, man. He's 007.
James Bond, baby.
It's just his title and who he is can win him over, not just his charm. And it's just all of that combo. It's just
who he is,
and that's why Daniel Craig is so good in my mind, because he can play all of that. He can play serious, he can play funny, he can play action, he can play non-caring. He can do all everything, and that's why he's been so good. And I'm glad after the last movie, Spectre, that he comes out and finishes with a bang.
Yeah.
So maybe the injury is a blessing in disguise.
Maybe it is. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe this whole movie is just going to be. Maybe it was poop before, and now this injury is like a way of fixing it. Right. In a way.
Right. I mean, I'll tell you what. I mean, I don't
just
like to start rumors, but I mean, I'll make up one that maybe he's not injured at all, and they're just because they've went through like 3 or 4 writers, changed the director a couple different times.
Right, we touched on that the last episode.
So
we talked
how do
about
we not know if he really is or
if he really was hurt or not? But
I mean, throughout history, people have done that, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Right.
And in this particular case, I'm going to say, probably not. Like my gut's probably saying
he's
it's more
probably
like the
hurt.
Harrison Ford in Force Awakens. Harrison Ford got his foot caught in the Millennium Falcon door.
Yeah.
Had to stop and postpone a little bit, but you didn't notice. You didn't.
No, didn't notice at all.
You didn't notice, and I like that movie. So I think that it's good for everybody. So I'm sure they're going to be shooting other stuff that he's not in it, and getting things taken away of, and maybe looking back at what they've already shot and like, does this really work?
Right.
From where we're at right now.
Right.
Pre you hurting yourself, like, do we want you to get to the point where whatever stunt or whatever action you did to make you hurt yourself.
We're going to have to, go back and look at it. And they're going to have time now to go back and look at it and be like, is this really what we want? Is this really the James Bond movie that we want to put out? Because obviously Spectre was not it at all.
It was not garbage, but it was not good at all.
It wasn't a James Bond movie. It was just another espionage movie.
Yeah. It felt like an unlicensed version.
It just felt like an off-brand
kind of like
knockoff.
Never Say Never is basically the unlicensed version of Thunderball. They're the same movies, just different actors in that movie.
Same movie, different actors.
I prefer Never Say Never Again, but I do like Thunderball. So, but the reason I like Never Say Never Again is that's because Irvin Kershner, the director of episode 6 or episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, little movie called Star Wars. So
called Star Wars.
He directed Never Say Never, so I'm a fan of that anyway. But hey, Godspeed to Daniel Craig. Hopefully he gets speedy recovery.
He comes back, speedy recovery, and hopefully they maybe fix something that isn't so good about this movie.
Right.
Moving on to John Wick, another BA. John Wick 3 just came out. Parabellum. Apparently, it's amazing because John Wick 4 has already been announced. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but Keanu Reeves said he'll do as many John Wick movies as they want.
Yep.
It could be John Wick 19 by the time he's done.
It's fine.
But that's totally fine with me because I love those movies.
And the beauty of it, in my mind, is because he is kind of one of those ageless ones.
Yeah, he doesn't age.
They can do prequels, okay? Because I want to see him why he becomes the Baba Yaga.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to know.
Yeah, there's a comic that came out I think last year, the year before. It was John Wick's origins, and you can find it on YouTube if you just go to Comic Storian. Just a shout out to those guys. They're pretty sweet. They just do like basically radio dramas of comic books, and they go through the different different Marvel, DC, all kinds of all different comics basically, and they go through and they dramatically read out the comic book to you and show you the panels and all that stuff, but they cut out the words for copyright reasons and stuff like that so they don't get struck. So anyway, there's a John Wick origin comic on there. It's about a half-hour-long video, I believe, but it's really good. I fell asleep to it the other day, so I need to watch the rest of it.
Right. Okay, well, that's kind of good to know. But I mean...
But hopefully they, I was getting to it, hopefully they take that and turn it into a movie.
Right, adapt it. Or maybe part of the TV series, because that is a thing, and it's supposed to be about the... what is the hotel called?
The Continental.
The Continental, right, and that's what it's called. It's the Continental or whatever, so...
that's gonna be cool.
It's just that's gonna be great because then we really
all the different like rogues galleries of all the different hitmen and all hit women and all that stuff.
Yes,
that's gonna be cool
about that. I mean, John Wick is just like I can't really compare it, but I guess if you could, he's like the new. John McClane, Die Hard. He's like, the new Riggs.
I don't even know if you can compare him to that.
It's like I saying, it's really hard. I mean, that's like the only thing. The first thing that kind of goes to my mind, like as far as BA-ness.
He's right up there.
He's right up there because that first movie was just such a surprise, man.
Oh God, it was so good.
Like, because I remember when my brother-in-law, he was like, "Yeah, you heard that crappy movie called John Wick? We went and saw it. Guess what? It's incredible.
Awesome."
He's like, "I'm going to see it again tomorrow." It was just amazing.
Oh, dude,
and even my sister-in-law, she's like, "Yeah, I don't like movies like that, but that was wicked."
Yeah.
So it just kind of caters to everybody in those movies. It's got drama, it's got comedy, it's got action, it's got just everything. It just has everything, and great acting. All the actors in all those movies are really good.
Unless you don't like Keanu Reeves' style of acting.
I mean, if you don't, that's fine.
If you don't, that's totally fine. I mean, watch it for the action at least.
Right.
Because it's
and
amazing.
If you're just
the
like,
choreography
it's just Keanu Reeves, the movie star, guess what? He does all that stuff.
He does all that stuff in real life.
He could really kill you.
He can actually do all of those moves in real life.
Yes, he can.
There's video upon video of him doing it, and it's insane.
Right? Like, I'm telling you what, if I was a woman, panties would be dropped. That's all I'll say, all right? If watching that happen in real life,
good
they're
Lord.
down. There you go.
Good Lord. So anyway, moving on.
John Wick 4 is already announced. John Wick 3
coming out.
and John Wick 3 dethroned Avengers for the top spot in the box office this past weekend. So there's another big reason why we're talking about it.
And speaking of which, Halle Berry can do all those moves now too.
Yeah, she can because she trained alongside him.
Yeah, she trained right with him.
I am very curious to see her action because we know she can.
I haven't seen the video yet, but I've seen it prompted on YouTube and
she's
stuff.
Storm and she's a swordfish chick and. I mean, and
she can
knows
kick
what's
some
up.
ace.
Oh yeah, she can. I mean, and she had one horrible movie, which was Catwoman.
Catwoman.
Which I can't believe is actually a canon thing.
Don't want to talk about
But
it.
yeah, we're just gonna bomb it real quick and forget about
gloss
that movie.
over that.
I have to say something about that. Can you believe there's actually people that are like fans and
They're big fans of that?
There's like rated kind of high on certain websites.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's like one of the top DC films of all time in that list.
Ew.
It's gross.
First of all, ew.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
It's just
No,
like
thank
every
you.
Holly Berry fan was just like, yeah.
No, thank you. I'm moving on. No, thank you. Please bring out another different cat. I'll take Anne Hathaway.
Annie Hathaway's?
Yeah,
all
Annie
day.
Hathaway's. I'll
She
take
can
her.
act. God,
She
can
needs to come out. Maybe they approached her for a solo Catwoman movie, and she said no.
Right.
Because they've been trying.
Well, she's rumored. We're into movies here.
Yeah.
She's rumored, or she's not rumored, but Catwoman is rumored to be in the new Batman film.
Yeah.
As well as Penguin are apparently the two villains in the newest news Batman, which I guess we can roll on to as far as the next movie news.
Yep.
But yeah, hey, Halle Berry. I would love to see Halle Berry in a Batman movie. Just
a new, new redo it.
Yeah.
Just redo it. We'll forget about that, and you'll be with Robert Pattinson.
She deserves a little
or
redemption.
something.
I mean, she's great. She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's one of my favorite actresses of all time.
She's great.
She knows what's up, and she's funny. Mm-hmm. And she's real too.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on in the movie news, Robert Pattinson is your new Batman, your new Dark Knight.
He's the new Batman, and I'm giving him a chance.
And we're giving him a chance because we gave Ben Affleck a chance, and he actually was very surprised.
He was actually good. There's a lot of people out there that hate on him for it, and they don't think he was good at all, and they were like, "Bleh, f you,"
and all that. You were
watching,
you just hate Ben Affleck.
but it's like, you just hate Ben Affleck.
Because he did good.
Yeah, he did amazing as Bruce Wayne.
I mean, I was in my vehicle with our good buddy Josh, and they announced it. I heard it on the radio.
Yeah.
And your new Batman is, and we're like, what? And then they were like, Ben Affleck, and I mean, it just, the smell.
It's just wah.
It was just, oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Because it felt like, obviously, of course, we're going to choose him because he's best friends with Kevin Smith and all this stuff. And he's a giant Batman fan, and he has a bat cave in his house. So.
And then it just turns out he just didn't even want to do it.
Right. Well, he got extremely butthurt when they turned down his script for the Batman.
Yeah,
movie.
and he just
did.
He was done.
To Matt Reeves.
And he was done with it.
You don't like my idea, even though everybody else on the planet loved it. You guys are like, nope. Fine, I'm gone.
He was done with it.
But Robert Pattinson, I'm not like, oh my God, yes, this is awesome. But the kid can act, all right? Whether you like Twilight or not, even he hates Twilight.
I've never seen Twilight, but
he hates him. He wishes he'd never done it.
I'll give him a chance just because I've never seen Twilight, so I don't know the full amount of shame that he carries.
I mean, I've only seen the first one, and there's only one good scene, and that's the baseball scene. And of course, if you've seen Twilight, you know what I'm talking about. And it was stupid, but it was the coolest scene in the movie. But that character in that movie, he plays it well. He's an odd, weird, strange, creepy, cool, nice, funny person, but he nails that character.
Yeah.
He envelops the character very well. He's a good actor. He was in Harry Potter.
He's going to nail this character. He's going to nail being a young Bruce Wayne.
I looked at him with they photoshopped his face on the suit. I thought it looked pretty good.
He's got the jawline and all that stuff, the wide jaw and stuff like that.
Neckline for all the maneuverability with the suit.
He's going to do well. I think he's going to do really well.
Honestly, my only concern with him playing it is Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne, to me, is the hardest thing to play. It's not Batman. It's Bruce Wayne. It's the hardest thing to pull off.
Bruce Wayne, like the off...
Like Val Kilmer was an awful Bruce Wayne.
Oh, yeah.
Good Batman. George Clooney, amazing Bruce Wayne. Horrible Batman.
Yeah.
Michael
Don't
Keaton,
worry, I got my bat card.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it'll be different because it's hard to picture him being a billionaire playboy.
Right, because he just doesn't.
Because he is kind of preppy, but it's.
I guess, but
the Bruce Wayne preppy is different.
He might be super broody,
he could
Bruce
be.
Wayne.
He could be a little.
He's not gonna have any pep, kind of like
he's gonna
Michael
be young,
Keaton,
obviously.
and the wounds are still gonna be fresh, from his parents and all that stuff.
He could be a lady killer.
He might be. It might be just like a sullen, lady killer. Oh, I like him for his broodiness. Right. He's dark, mysterious.
Which I'm pretty sure why Catwoman and Penguin are coming back, and everyone's like, "Oh, what is this? Batman Returns, the reboot?"
Maybe.
It could be. I mean, I like that movie Christmas time, but as I've gotten older, I notice what people say about it, and it's just kind of like,
Yep.
I love it, but I can only watch it at Christmas.
I can only watch it during Christmas as well.
The rest of them I'm fine with, but it's just that particular movie. So I mean, to me, with those characters in him, I'm fine with it. You're going younger, and you're bringing some favorites back that we haven't seen in a long time.
Right.
And then when we did see Catwoman and the Dark Knight trilogy, which was at the end, you really didn't really get to see her be very Catwoman-ish.
No, you didn't get to see her doing
her. It was more like
her
Anne Hathaway and leather with goggles.
You were trying to. They had to throw her in.
Right?
I mean,
you know what I mean?
And
I want to see some Cat Claw cutting a circle and stealing some jewelry,
stealing a diamond, and all that.
I want to see the Penguin is taking over some warehouse, and he's all frozen and that kind of thing. I want to see legit Penguin.
Yep.
And we have, there's so many good stories, and there's so many good people that are going to be working on this film.
Right.
So I'm excited.
It's going to be good. I'm
no
excited
matter what. For the new era of Batman, like a new wave, another trilogy. Hopefully it's not just some one-off and it's good and they just.
But have they even slated the release date or anything like that? Has there been a year?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's 2022. So
2022,
early 2022.
Cool.
So,
look for Robert Pattinson 2022 as your new Batman, Dark Knight.
I'm pretty sure most of the ladies are okay with it.
Probably.
Most of the guys are probably just kind of on the fence like we are, but at the same time, we're excited because it's Batman.
Because it's Batman. I haven't disliked a Batman movie, honestly. Like the George Clooney one. I still don't dislike it. I still like it.
Yep.
I still like it. The Val Kilmer, I still like it. Yep. Michael Keaton, my favorite Batman. I love him.
He's just.
But there just hasn't been a Batman versus Superman. I loved it.
Yep.
Justice League. It was a crap movie,
By the way,
but
Batman
I loved
versus
it.
Superman, Dawn of Justice. If you haven't seen the 3D.
Watch the 3D. It's amazing.
It is one of the most amazing 3D films I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah,
like,
it's great.
It makes that movie
so
much better. You're like there. You're in the movie with him.
It's
so
amazing.
well done. Because there's so many 3Ds where you're like, okay, that 3D shot was cool and everything.
Yeah, that's Civil War. Civil War 3D was just not a good movie to put out.
I don't think it needed it.
No.
Like, only for the airport scene. And even that wasn't that even good.
That was it. Yeah. That was literally it.
Yeah.
It was like a drama Avengers movie that didn't need to be 3D.
Yeah, as far as the Batman movies, there's only really one I don't like, and that's the animated, and that was the Crisis on Two Worlds or whatever.
You didn't like Crisis on Two Earths?
I don't like it because I didn't like the other multiverse that they put in that movie. There's other verses of the unit multiverses in DC I wish would have been. That's all. And I don't even, it's not like I hate it. I can still watch it.
Right.
So I'm watching all the films, but if I had to pick one, I guess my least favorite.
I like that movie.
It's that movie.
Just for like Owlman, he was
right.
great.
And I love,
Owlman was
like
great.
I've seen, he's
Superwoman
great.
was
James
awesome.
Woods and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
It just,
it was amazing.
I don't know. It just didn't hit all.
Voice acting was like spot on.
That was good.
It was
that was
amazing.
good. My favorite's Public Enemies when it comes to the
Public Enemies. That's like one of the least ones that I've seen, but still, I like it. I love it.
I mean, DC nails it when it comes to animated films. Sorry, Marvel fanboys, you can even admit that.
Yeah, you can admit that.
Sorry, like your animated stuff is not good.
Marvel out of the water when it comes to animations.
It does, just a little bit.
So moving on, movie news. I got Terminator: Dark Fate coming out. New Terminator movie.
The new Terminator,
directed by Tim Miller. That's the guy who did Deadpool. Yes. And James Cameron is back.
James Cameron's back. Thank God.
Cameron's back on board.
And he had a contract and he didn't get it back until a certain time, which it's still not there. Next year is when it actually goes to him.
Yeah.
So they're doing this and it's still technically not his movie yet.
Wow.
But next year it will
be.
officially be his movie again, and he owns the rights to Terminator.
That's why
so
he's
happens,
this needs to be good.
This needs to be good. We watched the trailer. Own this. I liked it.
I liked it a lot.
I liked it a lot. I enjoyed it. You didn't see a lot.
Yeah.
Which it was a good long teaser.
You see
I love that.
an older, grizzled kind of Sarah Connor.
Linda Hamilton is back.
Linda Hamilton. She's just kind of like, war torn,
battle
hard.
Like, how? Well, you kind of have to watch the
other ones.
You'll
have to watch the other ones to find out
Even
how.
If you don't like Genesis or heard you hate it, watch it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So
watch it anyway because it's continuity and you got to watch it.
I like besides Terminator 2, which is the best, all the Terminator movies have something I like. And I actually least like the very first one.
The very first one? You don't like Terminator?
I don't like it that much.
Wow.
And I don't like it that much because it's weird because I saw Terminator 2 first when I was younger because it came out and it was just box office.
It was everywhere,
right. And Terminator was considered a horror movie back then. It wasn't really an action film technically at the time.
Yeah.
And like when I didn't appreciate it until older. I appreciate it now, but if I had to pick at least one, it's because it's hard to see Arnold Schwarzenegger be a villain. It's weird to me. He is. Yeah. It's just that.
He's always been the hero.
There's such cool stuff in that movie, though, that it's
there's like, awesome stuff.
Sarah Connor and then Kyle Reese, the guy that plays him, Michael Biehn.
Yeah,
he's awesome. I love every movie he's ever done. So that's why I like that movie because of that kind of stuff. And then all the little subtle stuff that connects to all the other movies.
Right.
That's why you should watch.
That's why you have to watch them in order. That first one.
Back in the day, I just kind of ignored it. And there's something about every Terminator movie.
Just jump straight into Terminator 2. You're like, I have no idea what's going on. Let's do this.
Right. And that's the beauty of Terminator. If you don't, there's certain movies you like. Well, every time, especially now, you'll probably get what you want.
Oh,
you can do that now. It's Terminator. It's a Terminator timeline. Like Hot Tub Time Machine. It's just like Terminator.
Yeah, it's just like Terminator.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly like Terminator. But yeah, very good trailer. Highly recommend it. It's up online. You can catch it on YouTube now on, I think it's 20th Century Fox is what released it.
Yep.
Yeah, like he said, James Cameron back. The guy that did Deadpool, Tim Miller, is working on it. It's a very... it's not really too dark, but it's gritty. Yeah. It has that Mad Max Fury Road
kind of just. It's got that. It's got that Terminator 2 feel to it.
It does.
It's that gritty kind of just. You're constantly on the run kind of deal,
like
and you're
picking up
running away from
where you wanted it to pick up. Like,
right there in the future. You're like, yes, this is it.
Only the one scene with Arnold.
Yeah,
but they didn't pull a Force Awakens or anything, so I'm assuming we will see him more than just one scene. I don't expect him to play a ginormous part.
No, not at all.
But I also don't expect him to die.
I think he's going to just play more of a kind of an information kind of character, you know what I mean? Just to go and get information, maybe a hideout, maybe like lay low,
command.
Safe house.
I think he should command.
Yeah.
Him and John Connor need to just command all of that because why? Because you keep dying. Spoiler alert if you've never seen any.
Yeah, I've never seen any
Terminator movies, but you quit dying, please. Quit sacrificing your damn self. We could use you. I get what you're trying to do, but you keep coming back for a reason.
Yep.
So I don't expect him to die because, to be honest with you, that'd be stupid, in my opinion.
That'd be bad.
And if he does, he's got to pull a Terminator 2, and it's like, I don't see him copying that again.
No.
So I'm saying the odds are he sticks around and hopefully spawns other movies. Because now you even saw it with Genesis, you could you don't have to have actual Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, you don't have to. No,
all these movies are showing you don't need that anymore.
Straight CGI.
He can still talk. All you got to do is sit in a booth.
Yeah, you can just do a voiceover. That's
so that's easily doable, which I like about with the levels of the movies are taking these days.
Oh yeah, you can make actors look super young if you wanted, just like the Marvel movies did with Michael Douglas and Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp and all that.
Just perfect.
Yeah, they made him look super young in the flashback scenes and all that.
Like Robert Downey Jr. too. Yeah, it looked amazing.
Yeah, he looked like you
gotta think about all these horrible movies back in the day that are horrible because of the CGI or the characters or just couldn't get shots, and what they could do now if they tried to do that. Man, all those guys those would be
blockbusters.
They would. There'd be so many that would, strictly because they didn't have the technology back then. So we have it now. But heck yeah, Terminator. I'm excited. I'm always excited about Terminator movies.
That's about all I got for movies. Well, we're gonna move straight on to TV.
We got TV. We got a lot of TV. Oh, whoa! I forgot one thing. On movies. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Tom and Jerry live action.
Oh yeah, Tom and Jerry live action. Michael Pena.
Michael Pena is playing the villain. Yeah. So if you didn't know that Tom and Jerry was making a live action and he never thought about it, well, guess what? You're getting one.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Nobody asked for it, and everybody wants it.
Nope. Nobody asked for it. Everybody wants it. So there you go. Tom and Jerry.
Michael Pena is hilarious. So
and we always talk about him. He's so good. So I have faith in this movie.
Yep. So anyway, moving on to TV, just a little dab into TV. We're gonna talk about the Game of Thrones finale. Oh boy, here we go with the Game of Thrones.
We got still a little time. A lot to talk about.
I am still kind of just, I enjoyed it, but it just wasn't. There were a lot of questions left unanswered, like I've been saying.
Very much.
And I know they're in the books and all that stuff, but that's why I'm watching the TV show. I don't want to read the books. I want to watch the TV show. I want to see it happen.
Series, it deserved to have all the information.
Yeah. So
I'm still on the fence about it myself.
And I'm angry that they cut out 2 hours. They brought it down to 6 episodes instead of the normal 8.
Yep.
And we were left with just a lot of
It was rushed.
It was just a lot of whoa, okay, this is happening. Oh, my God. And then it's over. Yep. And you're like, oh, okay, it's over.
And they gave us the big battle we've all been waiting for since the beginning.
And I feel like they just put all their eggs into that basket, and then that was it. They were out. Much it.
They were like, man, success. It was great. It was amazing.
It was awesome. And then,
But I mean, I started watching the series again, and without spoiling it, everyone got what they wanted. Everyone got what they deserved.
Yeah, I mean, everybody got what they deserved, but like you said, it was just rushed.
It was rushed.
And
I've heard many reasons why it was rushed. I've heard about there was cast problems. I've heard about that they didn't want to compete with Star Wars in December. I've just heard all kinds of stuff being rushed.
Excuses.
Bottom line is that we got all the amazing people that worked on Game of Thrones. They all have new projects now.
Yeah, they all have great new projects.
And that's why they rushed it, because they were ready to were ready to be done with it. Everyone was just. I love you, but
I saw a meme today that summed it up perfectly. It was like the Game of Thrones final season was basically like a parent telling a child a goodnight story and just being fed up with it at the end, and just everybody died. The end. Good night. Yep. Like that was it.
It really was.
It
really was.
They were just like, I'm done with this. Just get it over with. I'm through. Let's move on.
Right.
I got other stuff to do.
And I get.
And we had 7 seasons of build-up, 7 seasons of all kinds of great story arcs coming and going, all culminating into this one season, and then it's just, like I said, they just kind of like threw it into the wind and was like, here you go, this is what you get. And it was just kind of, disheartening.
To me, what they should have done, hindsight 2020,
rip your heart out,
was be a 3-hour feature film in theaters.
Yeah, man, something.
That's what it should have been, in my opinion, because then you could have got all that stuff, and then it would have been the epicness, and it would have kind of dampered all those issues. I don't understand the hate. I get the disappointment.
I get 100%. But not the hate.
I hate the stupid petition thing and all this freaking garbage and changing it, and that's just disrespectful.
So bad.
You can't blame the actors or nothing or any of that stuff,
you
man.
You can't blame the actors.
That's HBO,
anybody.
man. That's corporate. That's people. All the people paying money to.
That's I don't want to say it's the producer's fault, but they have to do what the studio tells them, basically.
Well, and it was from the beginning. They knew, everyone agreed, and that's just the way it would. It didn't come out on paper.
And I don't get it. Like, it's like HBO took this cash cow out to pasture and put a bolt gun straight through its head.
Yeah, because they're like, we want to do our prequel shows already.
Yeah, we want to do all this other stuff already. I'm done with Game of Thrones. It's like, but what about all the people that were just building up for seven seasons?
And that's where I understand, like 100%.
Like a buttload. I'm just so disappointed. Yeah, I'm not angry at anybody. I'm not angry at HBO or the show producers or the actors or anything like that. I'm just disappointed. Yeah. Just disheartened. It ripped my heart out, and I was like, okay, I guess this is it. Wow.
It's like certain people are a little overboard on the fact of like their characters didn't end up where they wanted them to end up.
Yeah, you didn't get what you wanted.
Yeah, you knew after the Red Wedding, okay, people.
Yeah.
That nobody you liked was safe. Nobody that you cared about was going to get what you were hoping they were going to get.
Yeah. Everybody you should have seen it coming, basically. And I've been watching a lot of old clips of just different characters and stuff like that, just their story arcs. Like last night I watched Tywin Lannister's kind of all the scenes of him and how he progressed throughout the stories and all that stuff. And he alluded quite a bit to what was going to happen to Jaime and Cersei. Like, he literally said that we're either going to build ourselves up to be the most powerful family, or we're just going to be crushed underneath of it. And that's kind of weird, right? Yeah. Like a foreshadow in the first season. Like, it was his first scene, I believe, in the whole show.
Right. Yeah.
And he was talking about it, so it's like you kind of got to read into it like that, and kind of like
everything was pointed out.
Yeah.
Tiny spoiler alert: there was a poster. Did you see the poster? It was they re-released the poster from the very first picture of Game of Thrones. And that was when Eddard Stark is sitting on the throne,
right?
And there's the three-eyed raven.
Oh, really?
On the arm. Nobody ever noticed it because everyone thought it was a piece of the throne.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't. So basically,
I have the first one out, like in my collection. I need to get it out and look at it.
They foreshadowed it from the beginning. That's all I will say on
That's
that.
Crazy. Dang.
But yeah, they foreshadowed it. Things happening from the very beginning. So I feel for people with their favorite characters and stuff. But you're always going to have. That's what people always forget when things are over. You always have it.
Yeah, it's always there.
It's always there. Now, it wasn't the ending that you wanted. No, like we were on the radio. They were talking about, amazing shows, disappointing ending. Like one of the number one ever was like Sopranos.
Yeah,
Sopranos like the greatest show ever. It ended.
I watched. If you haven't seen The Sopranos, it's an okay show. You can watch it if you want. But I saw an analysis of the final scene of what's going on. And he literally he dies at the end of it.
Yeah.
Like he gets shot in the face.
Yeah.
Like sitting in that diner, he gets shot in the face because you hear the bell ring whenever somebody comes into the door, right? And then it cuts to his POV of what he's seeing of somebody coming through the door, whether it be his daughter, his son, his wife, all that stuff. So every time you hear that ding of the door opening, it cuts to a POV of him, what he's seeing. And then, so that's why you hear the ding, and then all of a sudden it cuts to black. Because somebody came through the door and just immediately shot him because it cut to the POV of what he saw, which was nothing because he was dead.
Right.
So like that ending isn't as bad as everybody makes it out to be.
Right.
I mean,
which there was that argument when guys were talking about it. It was like I thought it ended, the way it should have. How else were you going to end it?
Yeah. I
mean,
mean,
sitting around eating spaghetti
and pizza and all that. No way, man.
No, nobody would have liked that. So yeah. But there's, they just happen. Endings are tricky, man. I mean, people are emotional, and they've been around each other for so long. It's hard to say goodbye. So your mind and your body's in it, but your heart's not in it sometimes. And you hear stuff, and then you ask questions, and the media is just a big problem. The media was a huge problem with Game of Thrones.
And Emilia Clarke didn't help it.
No,
either.
She didn't help it.
She was like just kind of just hating the whole time and just bringing everybody down about it.
Like seriously, you knew what you were getting into. You knew exactly what was going to happen.
What was going to happen? Did you hear the actress who played Catelyn Stark? Did you hear her going, "Oh yeah, best season ever"? Did you hear her doing any of that crap?
No.
Did you hear Robb Stark's actor doing any of that crap?
No.
No, you didn't. Did you hear anybody else that got killed off suddenly? Spoiler alert, sorry. Yeah. Killed off suddenly? Do any of that? No. Why did you have to do that? Because you thought you were the best and you thought you were carrying the show?
You don't hear Hodor bitching.
Yeah. You don't hear him complaining about it?
Nope.
But
the
media storm was
just media's made it real bad, dude.
Yeah, really bad, and just some of the actors are flaming the fire, and I don't get why.
And then like John, even Kit Harington, he had said something, about what he thought about it, and then it was a joke, and
this freaking show has made these people so much money.
Right.
And then they're gonna go and do that on the final season and make it worse than it needs to be.
Right.
Like it's terrible, man.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's not good. It wasn't a good thing. And then there's been lots of famous people. Like recently, Mark Hamill went off on, he said what he had his mind on Star Wars and stuff.
He went off.
And things of that nature. But he apologized about it and explained why he said it. And these things were taken out of context. These guys are still kind of new in the game. They're not really understanding that you need to explain what you said because they will get taken out of context. Everything you say.
Because they're old school. They're old school dudes. They were like, this was said in context, so I'm not going to get in trouble for it. But nowadays with the media, take everything out of context.
Exactly. And I mean, and when we get to that point, when we start interviewing, prominent, important people, I would never, even if we got famous, I would never ask a stupid question.
Yeah, don't
like
ask
some of these guys ask that
question.
How do you feel? And, are you excited? And, what's your plans next? And we already know everything there is to know about what,
none of this personal life BS, none of this, trying to get some tabloid stuff going, none of that.
And but the media, they do it because they make so much money. money.
Yeah, dude, they make so much money.
Guess what? I interviewed blah blah blah, and I wrote
this
is
down. What they said.
Here's my money. Thanks. Bye. It's like photographers. Here's a picture of Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Here you go. Give me my money. And that's pretty much what they do, man. It's just there's even that show we watched a while back that was on Amazon. It was like the real life camera crew guys for like news reporting, and they were competing against each other.
That was great. Yeah, that was awesome. It's a great show,
like because it shows like exactly how hard these guys are working and what they're doing, and they put their lives in the way.
I think it's called like Night Watch or something like that. I forget. Yeah, I think it is Night Watch. But yeah, they're all competing with each other and trying to get the best shot.
Gives you perspective on it. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of douche paparazzi out there.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. That
there's
just
plenty of terrible paparazzi,
run you off the road and follow you and harass you. It's messed up to get a buck, man.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, that pretty much. It's hard to sit here and just go on and on about Game of Thrones, the finale.
Yeah, I'm not going to go on and on about it. That was my piece, and I'm pretty much...
The Sunday is technically the final episode. It's the wrap-up show.
It's a nice little wrap-up.
Behind the scenes, some stuff you didn't know.
Documentary.
There's going to be questions answered that people that never are going to read the books are going to be like, yeah, this is what happened to this person.
That's me.
There's so many people that everyone's like, well, what happened to this guy? Well, what about that guy?
Yeah.
That's a 6-hour episode, right. Dude. If you're going to literally tell us what happened to every single character.
I don't want to know about every single character. I just want to know about prominent characters, like what's going to happen next. You know what I mean? Just like something.
Right.
Give me something.
Right.
You know?
Give us something. So
instead of just, what?
So we'll have a little bit more information and like really a final rating and feeling of the whole series as a whole next week. Yeah. After this,
we'll probably just do the whole episode of Game of Thrones.
It pretty much will be Game of Thrones.
The entire episode.
There'll be so much to talk about. There is. I mean, there's god awful amounts of stuff to talk about when it's Game of Thrones. The only really other thing Game of Thronesy, because we're on the topic of television, is that the Game of Thrones writer and producer is going to work on the new Lord of the Rings series for Amazon.
Yes, he is.
Which is very, very good. So you got the two guys, Benioff and Weiss, going to Star Wars. They're doing their thing, which is perfect for them. And then you got the writer and producer working on the Lord of the Rings, which is good because he has a history with Lord of the Rings. He's very good friends with, I think, Peter Jackson and things of that nature. So it's a really good spot for him, and he's a fan. So sometimes it's hard to have a fan get put in those spots. Brian Johnson talking to you.
But sometimes it comes out amazing.
Yeah, it comes out amazing, exactly. So, but that's also reverts kind of back to what we were talking about with the rushing of Game of Thrones. It's because these guys are doing these things.
Yeah, they were just done.
Like, this is great, but guess what? I got Lord of the Rings. You guys got Star Wars.
They were just done.
Those are bigger markets.
Yeah,
they just are.
It's
not anything against Game of Thrones because
there's a lot of people out there that like to sit there and brag that they have never seen a single episode of Game of Thrones, and it's like good for you. I don't really care.
Yeah, there's a lot,
but there's a lot of people, and that's why I think
it's not their bag, or they've never even tried, or they've heard certain things about it, and they're like, oh yeah, after this, don't watch it because you're gonna hate it.
Yeah,
you're not gonna like anybody. You're gonna like this person. They're gonna be dead. So just might as well waste your time. But that's the point of it all. You're just like, yeah, I want to know. I want to see it next. Everything is next. What happens? But did the final season go? I think it went off path of what was his core.
Yeah, man. Like you said, I totally agree. They rushed it out because they were done with it. They were finished with it. They were like, this is the final season, and I just want to move on to other projects. I'm tired of Game of Thrones.
Yep.
And that's not fair to us, but that's what they did.
That is exactly what they did.
And I'm saying I'm talking about HBO corporate.
Yes.
That's what they wanted. That's what they got.
They all do it, guys. Disney, WB, everything.
Yeah, they all do it.
Everybody does it.
All the corporates. It's just to save, a couple bucks and make $1 million.
Yep. So, and I mean, and you got lead guys up there. Guess what? Their opinion matters.
Yeah.
It's just like if you were in that position and somebody shot you a Mighty Mouse film, you didn't like it. Man, no.
No.
Somebody else picks it up. Best movie ever. Mighty Mouse. Woo! But they don't care.
No, they don't care. They can care less.
That's how it works. Nope, I don't like that. Is it the most amazing thing ever? We got 9 people that love it. You don't like it? Okay, we're done.
Game of Thrones finale, I'm giving it a 2.5 out of 5. To be honest with you,
I'm gonna give it a 3 because I enjoyed things, and then looking back and then starting to gather things.
Right.
I gave it a 3. I was at pretty much where you are before I started kind of going back to the beginning, and I was like, oh,
right.
You know what? All right, cool.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of this show too. You can do that. There's I guarantee you there's an episode 2. I'm almost positive there's at least a couple episodes I've never seen.
Yeah, that I've missed because I've seen scenes from those episodes. Like I've been saying, I've been watching scenes on YouTube that I've never seen before. I was like, oh, I've never seen that before.
Right, like the other Red Witch lady. You're like, what?
Yeah, I was like, well, I don't remember that
still
lady.
Alive? What? What's going on?
What are you talking about? But,
and I mean, honestly, it was very. It was much more raunchy, until like season, 6 and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, it
with
was
the brothels
very,
and all
very
that stuff.
raunchy.
It was very, very, very different. And then they kind of, I don't know why they changed.
Then they toned it down. I think they got enough complaints where they were like, all right, let's tone
enough of the hanging.
Enough with the pornography.
Yeah,
we're just gonna go
that's
back
just what
to.
It seems, and that hurts things. Do I think they should have toned it down? Yes, but do I think they should have got rid of all that made it? No, I don't think they should. I think they should
because that was a big part.
Yeah, that's the world.
If I'm being completely brutally honest, that was a big part of it.
It was.
That was a big part.
And I mean, with the going back and missing episodes, when the Red Wedding happened, I stopped. I didn't watch for 2 seasons. I was I'm done with this show, man.
Wow.
I'm done.
Really?
I can't. It messed up my mind and it made me mad, and I had nightmares. I'm serious, man. It was just it hit me in the weirdest way, but I heard people like, oh man, it's so good, and this is happening, and I jumped back into it, but I don't remember where I jumped back into it because I was like so worried I was gonna watch the Red Wedding again or something. There's
probably a lot of episodes you haven't seen then.
I hope so. I'm kind of hoping so. I'm like, I'll go down and be like, I don't remember this at all. Finally, I get to. That's what happened.
Right.
So that's why I'm excited to go back through it. So there's our Game of Thrones review.
We had
finale. Movies and games. This is the I Don't Mo show, so of course we are going to end the show with Missouri news, and we're going to start with sports, and then we're going to end you up with a few local, and we're going to wrap it up here.
Yep.
And starting with sports, your St. Louis Blues. They have made it to the Stanley Cup.
Going to the Stanley Cup Finals.
They are the Western Conference
First
champion.
time, 49 years.
I'm still in a little bit of shock. It hasn't hit me completely.
Because we haven't played the first game yet. We're just kind of on this weird boat thing where we're just floating into the first one.
It feels so good.
Yeah, it feels great.
It feels so good. There's a long way to go.
But we're going to get hit hard.
But yeah, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a straight up battle.
It's going to be a knockdown, drag out, baby.
They're so evenly matched, even more than anybody we've played with this whole series. They are very evenly matched. They got goaltending. They got the core. They got depth. We have defense and core and depth.
I was going to say they got quick defensemen. We got quick defensemen.
We have 2 big guys, and they have the biggest guy.
Yeah.
Honestly, that I give the edge to us because we have more.
Yeah, we've got more diversity.
We have more huge guys on defense. They have one. The rest of them are kind of tiny.
Yeah.
But those tiny guys are fast.
Yeah, they're quick.
So it's going to be a different game. We play really good board game. They play really good open ice game. So it's gonna be a clash. It's gonna be a great series. Blues versus Bruins. I mean, come on, man. You can't write a better story than that one.
You can't get better than that.
This is like the ultimate because this is not one of those
rivalry.
This isn't the
baby.
Sharks versus the Bruins or the Vegas Knights versus the Bruins. This is the Blues versus the Bruins. Man, the whole world is gonna be watching. This is gonna be
a massive rivalry.
Because you had
match.
And the reason I love it is it's the world versus the Bruins. And that is why, to me, is also our advantage, whether they have home ice or not.
Oh, yeah.
I say we go in there and win the first game and split series there. And,
I hope so.
And dominate. But it's the world versus the Bruins because you've got everybody in the NHL and past fans that are like, yeah, man, the Blues are like one of the greatest teams. They are the greatest team in history that's never won a championship.
Never, ever, yeah.
So people are just out there. Yeah, go Blues. And then, of course, you just there's so much hatred for Boston.
Oh, yeah.
Because
the
Patriots and the Celtics and all, and the Red Sox. We have history, man.
We're the only 2 cities that have met for every championship in all the major sports,
except for basketball, because we didn't really have. We didn't.
Well, yeah, we did. We went with the St. Louis Hawks,
right? St. Louis Hawks. Yes,
we went with the St. Louis Hawks against the Boston Celtics,
which is just crazy. It's just crazy.
Every single sport we've gone to the championship with these guys.
Did I predict Boston to be there? No, which is another reason why I favor the Blues in the series, and I'm not being biased on that. If I was not a hockey fan and I looked at all the numbers and all the stuff and everything that goes along with it, my edge would be to the Blues in 6.
Yeah.
Could it go 7? Yeah, I say it goes 6 or 7. But it's the Stanley Cup Finals.
It could be anything. Who knows?
Yeah. And then there's also the statistic they said about there's 13 days between the Bruins playing last and the Stanley Cup, and the history shows that people that have 11 or days more are prone to lose.
Oh yeah.
So it's another thing on our
so
side.
That was a big story as well. They were trying to find a healthy balance between resting and trying to stay sharp.
Right.
Because they had a long time off.
I think we had the perfect amount of time.
Oh yeah.
We have a good amount of momentum, and I mean, it's just.
Yep.
I could go on and on. I could spend hours, man, because it's just amazing. It's an amazing feeling. The Blues are there. We waited our whole lives to get here.
Yep.
And we're gonna live it up, and then it's gonna get scary.
Yeah, it's gonna get real scary on Monday. That's when reality sets in.
And speaking of scary, to also finish up here, the Cardinals.
Cardinals, they're average right now. That's all I got to say. They're average. They are winning and losing. Winning, losing.
All out or nothing.
Yep. Winning, losing, winning, lose. So just it evens out at average. That's what they're doing right now.
Yep. Another off day today.
500 team.
Unfortunately, weird schedule because of the doubleheader yesterday.
Yep.
Whatever. But I still have faith. They're still going to make the playoffs. In my opinion.
No doubt. I still have faith. I'm not Debbie Downer or anything like that. No. And like I said, it's still early in the season.
They're doing changes right now. Carpenter's going to get moved down the lineup.
Growing pains. Yeah.
And so the talk is we're going to get a starting pitcher here soon. So you might see it sooner than later.
Yep.
But I mean, go Cards, go St. Louis. It's a great time to be a Missouri sports fan.
Yeah.
And St. Louis in general, it really is a good time. It's an amazing time of the year. It's really crazy to say that we're talking about the Blues on May 22nd.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh man, I never thought, because it was always like, man, I really wish we were here instead of watching these other teams play for it. We're there. We made
finally
it.
There.
Long live the note. And that is it for the I Don't Mow show. I got a couple of local news before we wrap up the show. We have some close friend and family. This is a band, Dead Roads, guys. They're going to be playing at Otis Campbell's. And I believe that show is a 7 o'clock start.
I believe it is.
I believe it's a 7 o'clock start. We will post it is already on our Facebook page. You can see there is a link to go to their site and get information about going. And we will post that and let you all know. So congratulations to those guys. They've been kicking some butt lately.
Go out.
They got some jamming tunes. They got some grooving stuff.
Go out there, listen to them. They're not bad.
Do some
really
drinking
good.
and talking and listen, having a good time. They put on a really good show. That's definitely the thing they do, and there's great people, and they'll interact with you after the show. So if you want to go and have a couple drinks, have a good time, and maybe meet the band afterwards, get some autographs, get some CDs,
just go and have a good time.
And to close out on that, congratulations to Dana's Shaved Ice.
Dana's Shaved Ice.
Snow cone in the state of Missouri.
Shaved ice, #1 in all of Missouri.
KSDK reported it yesterday.
Yeah, that place is blowing up
It's
constantly.
Blowing up. It is getting attention everywhere.
Constantly. There's constantly a crowd out there on that gravel lot just chilling, having a good time.
They're going to have to upgrade soon, I can tell you that.
Yeah, they're
popular, man.
Very small little business, and
but it's working for them.
They're going to move, I'm sure, eventually.
Very soon. We don't need much for what they got, but everything they got is just top quality.
It's so. I've been there. I've only been there a couple times, but every time I've gone, it's amazing. It's really good.
It speaks for itself.
Yeah,
it really does. It speaks for itself. But I mean, #1 in the whole state of Missouri, and there's a lot of places out there.
There's a lot of shaved ice places.
Yeah, that's here in St. Clair, Missouri.
St. Clair, Missouri, right on the corner, man.
Right on the corner. That's off Commercial, correct?
Yeah, right off Commercial.
Right off the corner, Commercial and Main Street?
No,
what is that? Murray.
I don't know what street that is. I never pay attention to the street.
You can't miss it. There's a yellow flashing light.
Literally, you can't miss it. You just go down literally 47.
Right.
Check them out on Facebook.
Commercial. Give them a like. Get some info. Get their hours. No one. They have They have Daddy O's cheesesteaks. Those guys. Good shout out to good people over there. They set up next to them sometimes. Do a little cross promotion.
Yeah.
We also have a new business that's booming lately, and that's the Fisticuts here in St. Clair, Missouri. So check them out. You need a good haircut or a good shave. They do male and female straight razors now. One of the only places in the area that does that. They do a really good job. And
so
the rest of the local news, shout out to Jeff City. They just endured a tornado.
Shout out to you guys. That was a hell of a storm last night.
We're praying for you. It was really big. It was surprisingly big. Everyone talks about certain areas of Missouri don't oh, we're never going to get hit by a tornado. This isn't going to happen. Well, it happened.
Oh, it happens. It happens.
It affected a lot of people.
Quite a bit more than people think because people share those memes all the time, and it's actually really dangerous.
Yes, it is.
It's very dangerous.
It's different.
People,
the country's different now.
We always get those tornado warnings and all that stuff, and actually, a lot of the times it doesn't happen, but when it does, it's usually really, really bad.
Right,
so.
like those warnings aren't for nothing. I know people hear them and they're like, yeah, it's just a warning. No,
that's
you hear that now.
What they're used to.
Be prepared.
Yeah.
Let's just be prepared, Missouri. All right.
Yeah.
But hey, we're with you, Jeff City. We're with you, Missouri. Let's go Blues. This is the I Don't Mo Show, episode 11. I'm Nathan J.
I'm Charlie P.
And man, it's been a good time. We will see you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.